Hey, I'm at the gun show in Puyallup. Take a look at this line. Before Marxism, there was never a line to get into this gun show. And this is what happens when you put a Marxist in the White House. Everyone's afraid of confiscation. I'm not a people counter, but there's got to be a couple thousand people here waiting to get in. Gee, why do I feel like Pete at the Armory Channel, driving and filming? Okay, that's it, guys.
Give our consent to this government. And when there is a long train of abuses, the Declaration says that not only is it our right, but it is our duty to throw off such a government. And it is our right and it is our duty to not give our consent, because this government now is violating the laws of nature and nature's God, which our founders put their trust and reliance in. I am asserting that we are now at this point. There is a long train of abuses of our unalienable rights. There is a usurpation of the people and of God's law and authority. There are tyrannical actions that we are seeing now in this nation and by this government. We are the governed, and we can choose lawfully, biblically, and constitutionally to remove our consent. We must make this choice now, and we must count the cost. We must count the cost of removing our consent. You see, when I became a Christian, I had to count the cost, because I knew that I would become an apostate, one who deserves a death penalty. You have to count the cost. The founders said that we put everything on the line, including our lives, our honor, and our fortunes, correct? We must now put everything on the line. You see, if we lose our Second Amendment, we lose the ability to defend all of the other unalienable God-given rights. And we will lose the ability to assert the Declaration of Independence as it was meant to be asserted, as a reset button, as a check and balance, that when a government oversteps those boundaries and will not listen to the people, it is our right to deal with that government accordingly. It is only now, before we lose our right to self-defend against tyranny, that we must no longer give consent to the list of usurpations that clearly violate the laws of nature and nature's God, including kicking God out of this country and its very fabric. It is time for a courageous generation to rise up with a dependence on divine providence and not give our consent to a dictatorial government forming in our land. This is up to you and me now. I want to encourage you. Please don't put your hope in the political parties. Don't put your hope in the media telling you the truth. The media may be here today, but I tell you, they are complicit in bringing this nation down now. I challenge them to have the courage to tell the truth the way the truth is supposed to be told. We cannot sit idly by any longer and watch our nation be destroyed. We cannot allow ourselves to be disarmed. Despite all that is going on, and despite the reality of the intentions of this government to come against life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the godly heritage of this nation, I still believe that with God's intervention, restoration is possible in this land. But only if we choose to be a moral and religious people who will choose to place God and His principles and natural laws back at the center of America. Each of us must choose where we will place our dependence. Our founders knew that their dependence on divine providence drove them to birth this nation. We must now choose the the same level of commitment to divine providence to fight for our liberties, our families, our heritage, and America.
He still is your Attorney General. Life. Barack Obama made the statement that if these executive orders just saves one life, it'll be worth it. Well then, Barack Obama, where was your stance 3 times in Illinois when you voted? When a botched abortion was unable to be completed and a baby is screaming for its life, you take it into another room and you kill it? You hypocritical piece of crap. Barack Obama is not my president. And I got to tell you, throughout my runs for office, I have resorted back to that movie, Braveheart. And if you watch that movie and you follow the lines in that movie, ladies and gentlemen, there is things in there that we need to hear. Robert the Bruce, when he, got to get to my quotes here to make sure I use the right one. But when Robert the Bruce, when he was knighted, and he got up to leave the chamber because the Scottish were bickering with one another over a land title. And he says, "Where you go, William?" And he says, "I'm going to England to defeat the English on their own soil." And he says, "That's impossible." He says, "Is it?" "Well, you're busy scrabbling over the scraps from Longshank's table. You've missed your God-given right to something much better." And he says, "The difference between you and I is you think the people exist to grant you title. I think your title is there to make sure they have freedom. And I go to England to make sure of it." Ladies and gentlemen, that speaks volumes of the people that are representing you and I today. They are doing nothing but padding their pockets and getting filthy rich on our efforts. And it's got to stop. Yeah. Well, we got to vote him out of office, but I tell you what, you need to be looking. DeMint just put a bill before him for term limits. Got voted down again. Yes, it did, because they want to rule us. Rubio has it right, ladies and gentlemen. Obama is a coward. He's a coward because he and the rest of those crony politicians won't tell you the truth. Their true agenda. It's a one world order. They're working overtime to bankrupt this country, so that we fall into this one world order because we don't have a currency that's sound anymore. So we have to move quickly. Get your things in order, your food supply. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be inevitable. You have to have it ready. Has Obama transformed our country from the land of the free and the home of the brave to the land of the constrained and the home of the cowardly? I think not, because I see a whole army of my fellow American citizens here in defiance of tyranny. Will it be us, 3% of the population, that'll save this country again? The ones that bore this nation, 3%. Will it be us, 3% of it again? Well, so be it. Whatever it is, we the people must turn shoulder to shoulder. And we got to fight our way back to the light, to the truth, to the Constitution, and to the Lord God Almighty. That's our only way, folks. I thank you so much.
money is